Hey, all you hot listeners, this is episode 22 of Husband and Wife Talks. This week, Marta and I will be discussing candy corn, whether or not it makes me smarter. Marta thinks it made me dumber, apparently, according to her. We also touch on our trip to a zoo in Colorado Springs, or Springs as the locals call it. We actually touch on a lot of things. You can find a lot of the pictures on facebook.com/hotpod that we go through. It was a fun time. We think you'll really enjoy this episode, so stay tuned. Hey, Marta.
Hi, Adam.
How's it going, my love?
Good.
That's good. How you doing today?
I'm well.
You're well? That's good. I never know how to start these things off after I say hi.
Just say the same. We'll just have the same intro as we always do.
Just straightforward. I should write it down what we want to say. Except for I don't know what we want to say, actually.
You can't force it either.
Yeah, it's got to be organic.
Did I ask you how you are, or do I just...
Nope, you just say, I'm good.
How are you? How is your day?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired right now.
Tired?
It's late in Monday evening. But people will be listening to us Tuesday morning bright and early. And basically... that Tuesday is October 30th. This is how I segue into the national holidays right now. Apparently, my brain's not properly functioning. So, I guess October 30th, what you're hearing right now, the national holidays would be, there's 3. So, there's National Candy Corn Day, Speak Up for Service Day, and National Publicist Day. And the main takeaway, or the main one that stands out to me is National Candy Corn. It seems like that candy corn is very divisive candy. Like, if people like it or they hate it. I personally am a fan of it. I like candy corn, especially the pumpkin ones. They're bigger. I can see by your face right now that you're making that you absolutely hate candy corn.
I do not like candy corn.
Why?
It's literally just straight sugar.
So, you eat stuff with sugar all the time. What's the big deal?
Yeah, with sugar, but it has other flavors. It's not just plain sugar. Ugh.
Do you eat Skittles?
It's rotting your teeth. No, I don't eat Skittles anymore.
Do you just eat...
I eat chocolate.
Your main candy just chocolate?
Yeah.
That's your main candy? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other candies that aren't chocolate are more processed. Well, I don't want to say the chocolate candies aren't processed either. It just seems less natural.
They're made with corn syrup, sugar, water, marshmallows, fondant, and wax from the leaves of a palm tree.
Oh, yeah, I love me some palm trees.
How does that even sound appetizing?
I don't know. They mush it together and make it a piece of a corn, and it's delicious. I haven't eaten them in like forever, so
yeah.
Let's
continue that trend. I don't want that in this house.
With the way I've been eating, so I don't want to eat any candy. I feel like if I eat too much candy, it always makes my teeth very sensitive. But I just found out, like it was a revelation to me this year at 25 years old.
This year or like 2 days ago?
Yeah, like 2 days ago. It was a revelation for me. I never knew this, but the reason they're candy corn is that if you stack them up on top of one another, it resembles corn. I never really knew that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a corn kernel, but I didn't really put together that if you put them all together, it
like
looked more
the
like
3 different colors.
It would look like a corn on the cob. Except for I've never seen like corn on the inside look orange though.
It's not orange.
It is orange in candy corn though. Well,
that's because it's processed and they can't look exactly like the real vegetable of corn.
I mean, Oreos do processes stuff all the time. It tastes just like whatever they say on the label. Birthday cake, apple pie. Why can't they do it for looks?
I don't know. Maybe you should write a letter to the main company that makes candy corn.
And I'm also thrown off because you've seen candy corn, they have also the black edges instead of white or yellow. I've never understood what that's supposed to look like because I've never seen black corn before.
I think it's just like any other candy or sweets where they just have different colors to have a variety and mix it up.
Now, quick question. Do you think if they stack all the pumpkin candy corn on top of each other, it's just going to look like a big pumpkin? That's a joke because they're just small little pumpkins. She's looking at me like I'm crazy, folks.
I don't even know what pumpkin candy corn is.
You never seen that? It's just like, looks like a tiny pumpkin.
Never heard of it. I really, really do not like candy corn.
Can you add more reallys just to
your
point?
That's so dumb. They're mini pumpkins, but
yeah, that's literally what I just
that's
said, my
dumb.
love.
I know, but I didn't see it. Okay, this is dumb.
But now that you see it, you
Ugh.
believe it. The words came out of my mouth. You said, psh.
No, I didn't know what they looked. They don't even look like candy corn. They look like little pumpkins. They're not the little triangle pyramid shape.
Yeah, they're pumpkins. That's what I said. I don't know what they're
So they're not called candy corn.
What are they called then? I know they're made by the same people.
They're called candy pumpkin.
They're really called pumpkin, not pumpkins.
A candy pumpkin is a small pumpkin-shaped mellow cream confection primarily made from corn syrup, honey, the same palm
leaf?
tree wax,
Woo!
and sugar.
Gotta love them palm trees. Who doesn't love palm trees? I know everyone in Florida does.
The wax from palm trees. You're not eating a palm tree.
I just picture somebody climbing up a palm tree and licking off the leaf because it has little wax on it. Tasty.
I just ate dinner, and this is really not.
This is sitting well with your stomach. I know.
No,
it's a
it's
great
not.
conversation. So there's Speak Up for Service Day. I feel like I should have brought up like information about the other things because
Speak Up for Service Day. I can speak to that.
oh, you can? Look at you.
Sure.
Go for it.
Using my typical source of nationaldaycalendar.com.
Sponsor us.
Sure. So, Speak Up for Service Day was established to recognize the importance of telling others about the need for young people to be actively involved in community service. So, yeah, just increasing awareness and involvement in community service.
I feel like that needs to be more of a holiday because I feel like nowadays people get less and less involved in the quote-unquote community.
Yeah.
I watch these obviously dramatized shows like Heart of Dixie or Gilmore Girls where they're a small town and everybody works together. But you don't see that really, especially when it comes to bigger cities. A lot of people don't. It seems like less and less people do community service. And I feel like that should be a goal of mine that I want to actually contribute and volunteer.
It's a good goal.
It'll get me out of the house too.
I don't remember about college, but definitely in high school it was a requirement for me to
Yeah, and the only
do community service.
Only reason people do that are for quote unquote selfish reasons to make it look good on their applications for college. Whereas now when you're out of college and you don't have a reason to do it, I feel like less and less people are doing it. I feel like it's probably just like a good thing to do.
Well, you and I should do it.
Yeah, we should do like a Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, whatever.
I've always wanted to do one of those.
Any of them.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's the one where you help build a house.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And we can learn how to build a house and be very fluent in building houses. Because building houses is a language, apparently. Fluent.
Anyway.
Ooh, man, I'm on a roll tonight.
This is what happens, kids, when you eat candy corn. Affects your brain. No,
Whoa!
I'm just kidding.
Whoa!
That was mean.
Wow, she's calling me dumb on air. Normally it's behind the scenes,
I
but
didn't
now
call
it's
you dumb.
all the hot listeners, all 30, some of them can
Oh
hear
my
you
gosh.
call me a moron for eating
I did
candy
not
corn.
call you a moron.
You just said it affects my brain cells.
I said it affects your brain as a joke because you were having trouble thinking. And it's all that palm tree wax up there. Anyway,
I
national.
realize I haven't had candy corn since I was
that's
5.
why it was a joke.
Well, not 5, maybe like in teenager years, but still.
Okay, last week.
No.
I'm just kidding. Okay. National Publicist Day is a day to appreciate publicists.
Why?
Wow, that was really aggressive. Why?
Yeah, what did they do?
They publish.
They publish.
Publish.
Are you eating the candy corn as well?
Clearly, I've been eating some candy corn because my brain's a little cuckoo.
So a publicist is basically just handles press releases for companies, right?
Yeah.
Why do they need recognition? Just be honest.
Because
Sorry if there's any publicists out there. I'm just curious.
National Publicist Day is a day for publicists to come from behind the scenes where they are always working, even behind their eyelids, whatever that means, and be appreciated publicly for all they do to improve brand communications with the public. So I think it's appreciating something that's not always thought of.
So they want their recognition. They want their day in the spotlight.
Yeah, everybody wants a day in the spotlight.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a podcast. So everybody can
We
see.
want our spotlight, exactly.
Exactly.
And Halloween is also Girl Scout Founders Day, so go out, buy some Girl Scout cookies. Appreciate.
What day is it?
Girl Scout Founders Day.
that today?
No, it's the same day as Halloween. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't like Halloween because I'm not a fan of the scary things. And Halloween a lot of times is associated with scary movies or horror and all that stuff, and I don't like that aspect
So
of
you're
it.
not like under the spooky. You're not into the spookiness of Halloween, right?
No, I'm
You
not.
don't like all the decorations.
Which
or
reminds
anything?
me, speaking of decorations, my office area, so apparently my larger team is like split between several suites and floors in the building that I'm in, and the suites compete against each other for Halloween decorating for a contest.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning, so Friday I worked from home, so last time I was in the office was Thursday, and this morning I walk in and there's this really thin, like maybe 12-inch wide glass panel to the left of like the suite door, and there's this really creepy poster hanging in with like these creepy faces that you see when you walk in. And then I walk in and there's like the entire suite is decorated but like not cute, like scary, spooky. So I'm
you're
really
not into that.
not a fan.
So, segue into one of our listeners' questions that was submitted a
Oh.
few weeks ago about Halloween, since Halloween is here now. She asked, what's better, a scary movie or a cheesy one?
Well, my opinion, cheesy all the way.
I mean, I like cheesy movies, but I feel like I could be... I mean, when we go skiing, we'll probably be watching the Hallmark Channel nonstop when we get home, since that's just full of cheesy Christmas movies. So... Halloween or Christmas, I always like cheesy movies, but Halloween, I feel like I can enjoy myself a scary movie from time to time, except for if it's really scary, then I have trouble sleeping, and that's never good. Like if it sticks with you, I remember I watched Paranormal Activity when I was younger. That thing still sticks with me to this day, where I get into my head thinking about the movie, then it freaks me out, and then I have trouble sleeping. Now that I mention it, I'm probably gonna have trouble sleeping tonight. Good job, Adam. So, continuing, would you go all out and decorate your house scary or cute for Halloween? I'm guessing you're going to say cute. I'd probably say the same thing, because I remember I had a traumatic experience when I was younger where it was like a scary house that I walked up. I was dressed up as Zorro. I was like 4 years old at the time, and walked up to the door, and I hate when people do this, and they had like a statue-looking thing sitting by the door, like with the bowl, or like the bowl was in the front door, and then they had like this quote-unquote statue, and then of course it pops up like it's an actual person sitting there, and then like they yell, and I like sprinted, just ran away. And I was terrified of that, going to that house ever since. I don't like doing completely scary stuff, especially to little kids. That seems a little messed up. You could traumatize them.
Yeah. I remember my old neighborhood where I lived from when I was like 9 to, I guess, through college. But that neighborhood was really good for trick-or-treating because it had, the houses were on little courts or cul-de-sacs, and they were pretty close together, and it was a really safe neighborhood, and there was an elementary school nearby, and like townhouses and apartments further, so there was always tons of places to trick-or-treat. But I remember
Townhouse neighborhoods are always where it's at, because you can just get a lot more in one square foot.
Well, I think
area.
with my friends in middle school when I went, it was mostly just like the cul-de-sacs with the houses, because new versus venturing out more. But I do remember some of my neighbors would decorate really scary, like something similar to what you said, and I hated when people startled or scared me like that. I just never.
And you jump a lot more easily than I do.
Yeah.
You get startled real easy.
Very easily
So I
startled.
imagine you probably are not a fan. I remember Halloween was just fun walking around in the neighborhoods itself when you're older, like teenage. You're just strolling around with your friends, thinking you're all cool. Teenagers walking by themselves, don't need no parents. So cool.
That's a good segue to the next question.
Oh yeah, it is.
Which
Look
is,
at
how old is too old for trick-or-treating?
that. I can't remember when was the last time I stopped trick-or-treating.
But do you
I guess it's going to be this year when I finally stop.
You didn't trick-or-treat
It was
last
a
year.
It was a joke. Bad joke, but it was a joke. Goodness.
Okay. But do you think in your opinion, do you think there's an age when kids should stop trick-or-treating?
I think a lot of kids probably stop around teenager years, like when they're in high school, because they probably think they're too cool for it.
Yeah.
Like maybe 14, 15. But, I mean, I think I did it around that age, just because it was a fun thing to do, walking around with your friends.
Yeah.
Don't even have to trick or treat. Sometimes I think we just walk around when we're older, for fun. But yeah, I think it's more of, I don't want to judge anybody for trick or treating when they're older. I mean, it's probably a fun thing to do. I don't think you're gonna get candy if you're a 20-year-old though, ringing the doorbell saying trick or treat though.
Well, it depends. If you're 24 and they think in the airport that you're an unaccompanied 16-year-old like
You've been
me.
missing out on getting candy all these years.
Yeah,
all these years.
I have a fine job. I can afford to buy my own candy that I like instead of going and trick-or-treating and getting the candies that I don't like that I just have to inspect anyway and then inevitably throw in the garbage because they're not my top 3 fave.
I always heard about that. You need to inspect candy.
Yeah, because there's screwed up people out there.
But I've never, I'm sure people still say that to this day, to inspect stuff. But I guess it's just like a precautionary measure because you never want it to be actually like happen where something bad happens and you didn't inspect it. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Because there are screwed up people. Speaking of screwed up people, the people that give you apples during Halloween, those people
Apples are good for you.
are the worst.
They're probably doctors. An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I'm sorry, but kids do not want apples on Halloween. They
Kids should eat
expect the good,
apples.
sweet stuff. I know there's natural sugars in apples, but I want none of that.
Anyway, my opinion on the how old is too old, I think I would agree with you that usually around the teenage years people stop, or teens stop trick-or-treating. But I feel like trick-or-treating shamers, people that are like, oh, you shouldn't trick-or-treat if you're above this age, I feel like that's a bad mentality because, okay, you're shaming this 14-year-old or 15 or whatever for trick-or-treating, but if their alternative is to go, get in trouble somewhere doing something bad, I'd rather them trick-or-treat than
I just feel
go
like
do
people are
something
more
bad.
self-conscious, and especially when you're a teenager, they always want to be cool and do the cool thing. And if the cool thing is not going out for trick-or-treating, then a lot of people won't.
Well, if our kids want to go trick-or-treating, I will support them.
No, I'm going to be dressed up taking candy from them.
I meant like 14, not like 3. When the kids are little, you steal all their candy and they're just really cute. Which reminds me, Target has the cutest Halloween costumes, especially for small children. Like
it's always the pumpkin one that gets me.
Well, did you see your cousin's kid?
Mm-hmm.
He was dressed up as a pumpkin. He was really cute. But Target has a little Halloween costume section for infants and toddlers, and they're so cute. And they're only $20 each. So as a future mom, I'll probably buy 5 costumes, line them all up, see which one our kid looks the cutest in.
I'm sure the grandmas are going to love that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Get all the pictures possible. So I think I already know this answer, but the final question, because the other one was the last one is just to get it out of the way. Any do-it-yourself ideas for decorating? I haven't done enough decorating for Halloween to have any do-it-yourself ideas.
I don't really like decorating for holidays that I don't like. Like, I don't like Halloween, so I'm not going to decorate for
She
it.
hates Halloween.
I mean, I think the decorating...
Are you getting her hint, Halloween?
I think the getting dressed up aspect is fun and, like, going to a party with your friends or trick-or-treating. But I just don't like the whole scary aspect of it. I don't like those vibes. So, in terms of DIY decorating, I would say not applicable because I do not and will not decorate for Halloween.
Well, there you go.
There's
Don't
the
come
honest...
to our future house if you're looking for Halloween decorations.
Yeah, if you're looking for some Halloween decor, don't come and don't ask me because I will not give you what you want.
And also the actual final question, scary maze or no scary maze? I'm assuming it's a no. You don't like mazes.
I don't like anything scary or haunted. So
I remember that's actually that would be the thing when we got older for Halloween. We would go to specifically like mazes and haunted houses and stuff to do that. Wasn't a fan of getting scared, but it always led to good laughs during it, like when you would get scared and then you would laugh after the fact, because I guess that's a coping mechanism when you're freaked out. Random thing, have you heard of Mischief Night?
yeah, I have. I forget what it is though.
Like, I remember a while back they did a survey about what specifically, who celebrates Mischief Night, or if anybody calls that, and or they asked what's the day before Halloween, and I think a lot of people answered Halloween Eve, but in Jersey was like basically the only one that would call it Mischief Night. And I think the thing in Jersey, I never took part in it, but the day before, people would go out and cause quote unquote mischief, like throw toilet paper over like trees and probably crazier things like egg people's houses or cars. I never took part because I was a goody two shoes boy. But yeah, I just wanted to know if you actually ever heard of that before.
I think I've only ever heard of it because you've mentioned it.
Really? Doesn't surprise me. We Jersey people are cool. We have Mischief Night, not stupid Halloween Eve. What's that? You do nothing.
I wouldn't take pride in a quote-unquote holiday or night where you're vandalizing the neighborhood. I don't see that as fun or
Yeah, I agree.
a good idea.
That's why I didn't take part.
Yeah, but you just said that's the reason Jersey is awesome, because you have Mischief
I never
Night.
said it was awesome. I said we're cool.
That doesn't make you
awesome.
cool. Vandalism
cool.
is not cool, kids.
PSA from Husband and Wife Talks.
Yeah, vandalism's not cool.
Now that I guess we can get off the subject of Halloween, I guess we can go
Yes,
more
please.
onto what we did this weekend, specifically this past Sunday. It was actually surprisingly we were there for a long period of time. Which doesn't happen often when we go to these types of places, which are zoos. We went to Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. And before we start, I just want to say you can go to facebook.com/hotpod. We posted pictures there of of my pictures. Marta didn't post hers yet. But pictures of our experiences, or not experiences, but what we saw at the zoo. And I think it'd be fun if you follow along because we had the pictures up and we can just go through. Right?
Sure.
That'd be fun. A fun little activity for the hot listeners, right?
Sure.
So there's
then they have to be listening while also
Wait,
clicking
I don't
through.
think they really need to. They don't have to follow along because we'll be describing what's going on,
Okay.
so to speak. But it's a fun little tidbit if they have time on their hands and they want to follow along with the pictures and have our discussions, and then they can get a visual of what we're seeing.
That's true. Should we
A
start
literal
with
visual.
the beginning, which was
The sign.
the sign? Yeah.
Yeah, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Elevation 6,700 feet.
Which is about 1,500 above Denver, I think. So
Yeah.
we climbed up in elevation a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And I could sort of not feel it, but I know when I was walking up the steps, I got a little out of breath when we got to the top.
I don't think I did.
It's because you're in just such a tremendous shape training for your marathon, baby.
Half marathon.
Oh, before we start, I wanted to remember that to plug your video that
Uh-oh.
will be going up on YouTube sometime this week. Guaranteeing
Yes.
it. It's all edited together. Just need to put some audio things into it. Should be up
Yes.
there soon. I promise. It's coming, folks.
It won't disappoint.
It's coming. Oh, it's been a long time coming, but it's coming. Around the okay. Then a cute little selfie of us. Look how adorable we are. The next pic. Look at you.
Can I talk about the giraffes?
Yeah, we'll just go on to the next pic.
Okay.
The next 3, basically.
Giraffes are my favorite animal, in case you didn't know. Growing up, I had multiple giraffe stuffed animals. That's just a little background on me. Nothing to do with the zoo at all. Just have to talk about myself before I get into the meat of things. So when we walked into the zoo, the first exhibit, are they called exhibits in zoos?
Yeah, I guess you could call it exhibit.
Exhibit or animal area. I'm not sure.
Where they hold animals.
But it was the giraffes, which I was super excited about.
Her favorite animal, as she already mentioned.
But I've never seen it set up like this. So usually when I've been to zoos, the giraffes are in their, enclosed area, and you're on the ground behind a fence.
And they're kind of really far away.
Yeah, and they're usually pretty far away. But here, there was a walkway that was, how many feet would you say was above ground? 15, 20 feet?
I don't know.
That little walkway area?
Probably 15 or 20.
Well, it was tall enough where the average giraffe with its long neck could reach over the railing, which if you have a chance to look at the pictures, you can see that.
Male giraffes are 16 to 20 feet tall.
So yeah,
probably
about
like
15 feet. Yeah. But it was really, really cool because instead of being on the ground feeling so far away and just not feeling as engaged with the animals, you're walking literally right through. I mean, there was railings, so it's not like you could jump in and, fall into the giraffe area. But you could walk by and I guess pet them if you wanted. You could pay a few dollars and feed them lettuce.
And that's mainly why they were over there, because they were trying real hard to eat that lettuce.
Yeah. It was cute, but
really
also
cool.
kind of gross. I mean, I think the tongues were really gross, so I did not realize how long giraffe tongues are.
And they're black.
And they're, yeah.
You can see in the third giraffe picture partial tongue for the one giraffe sticking out.
I would say, how long would you say the tongues are? I guess we could Google it, but I feel like easily
A foot?
a foot long.
Let me look. Keep talking.
I mean, because when you stick your tongue out, you don't see the whole tongue. Same with the giraffe. When it sticks its tongue out, there's still part of it that's in the mouth. But it was funny because when people were feeding the giraffes the lettuce, they would hold it out, and then the giraffe would stick its tongue all the way out, and then sometimes you could put the lettuce on the tongue, and they just kind of and get it right back in their mouth.
Sometimes they would just steal it out of people's hands.
Yeah.
They just were really into it, and they would just come right up. I think you got a picture with me around the giraffe, sort of.
Not a very good picture,
Giraffe kept moving, which was kind of unfortunate, but they seemed like very chill animals. They just wanted to eat. That's basically it. And they're very, I think, semi-pretty. Their tongues sort of threw me off, but
I like their
elegant.
coats.
Yeah.
I think they're
long.
They're just, it's crazy to me how long their necks are.
Do you want me to tell you how long their tongues are?
Sure.
18 to 20 inches long.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. That's a long tongue. If you ask me.
Ugh. Ah.
You still feel the same way about giraffes?
Yeah, they're still my favorite
So
animal.
your favorite? Because they always make giraffes look really cute when they do stuffed animals. I mean, they do that with all animals, though.
I think I still have one stuffed giraffe. I got rid of most of my stuffed animals, but I think I still have my one giraffe, and it's pretty small. It's like 8 inches, 10 inches.
We're forgetting about the main event of the giraffes when we were finally walking away.
Oh, I was getting there.
You were getting there.
So this walkway was kind of like a lightning shape, I guess. It was like straight and then like an H. It was an H, but minus the top right and bottom left segments of the H. So it was straight, and then you turn left, and then you go right. This is unnecessarily complicated.
I think I could sort of see it in the third picture. You go left and then around.
It's just a zigzag. It's no big deal. But anyway, in the tiny area that while you're zigzagging in between the building and then the walkway, there was a tiny little area where there was, I think
they were like...
There was like 5 giraffes in there.
But I think they were smaller, so I think they were younger giraffes, so they're not around like the
I didn't
main ones.
think the one that we saw that I'm about to get to the story
I'm
for.
sure it's like the mama and then the other little babies. That's what I was... Well, not little babies because they were huge, but they were smaller than the giraffes you would see in the main area, it seemed like. But one of them just wanted to make out with the post.
Not wanted to, it was. That long 18 to 22 inch tongue was... I can't even think of... Okay, the closest analogy I can think of to this is a paintbrush with really long bristles where when you're painting, the bristles just kind of cover a lot of surface area. I feel like that was what the giraffe was doing with its tongue, except instead of paint, it was a ton of slobber. Mm-hmm. All over, and the side, if you get a chance to look at the picture, the walkway had these railings that were wooden, and then the area with the, as you mentioned, the smaller giraffes, it's still wooden. So this giraffe was like licking the whole wooden post with its big long tongue, and it was so slobbery. That was, I mean, it's nature, so I guess we shouldn't be grossed out, but I've never seen a giraffe tongue, so that whole experience really left me awestruck.
Wow, what a word.
Yeah.
It left that deep of impression in you, I guess you could say. And it also was making like a weird noise too. I was doing it. It was like kind of a.
It was a disgusting noise.
It was something. All right. That giraffe, I think, because we were just standing, like we weren't watching it, but we were walking by, and it was like a minute's worth of it just going to town. And as we were walking away, it was still doing the same thing. It was really strange.
It was not something I would enjoy seeing every day. Also, we don't have a picture of this, but I did want to mention it. In between the giraffes and the lion, which is the picture after the giraffes, we saw a meerkat area.
Babies.
And they had the mommy and daddy meerkat had 4 baby meerkats, and they were so small and so cute.
Yeah, I didn't take pictures of everything because you had some and then I had some. I feel like this was the semi-highlights of what we did.
I don't know. Those baby meerkats were my highlight, besides the giraffes.
But there were a lot of cool exhibits. Then I've never seen a meerkat really up close that much because this was like the Africa section. So it was like the adult meerkats along with like the little baby meerkats, and it was cute because you pointed out one of the meerkats was showing the baby one how to dig.
Yeah.
At one point,
it was cute.
It was really cute. You wanted them as pets, but I don't think that would end up well.
Okay, once we buy a house, eventually one day, we'll have an area in the backyard
for our chicken coop.
We've already discussed that. But we'll also have a desert-like dry area for our meerkats to live and dig holes.
What's the purpose of that?
They're our pets, and we shall love them.
I don't even know if we know how to take care of them.
I don't know how to take care of a chicken.
Throw some bird seed, let it poop out some eggs, you'd be good to go.
Okay. Yeah, we need to do some research.
Wait, they don't poop out eggs? That's not how it works?
Nope.
But this sort of segues into the lion talk, but as we were looking at the meerkats, all of a sudden we heard, I've never heard this before in my life, and it terrified the crap out of me. We heard the male lion in this exhibit area, this semi-large area, just let out like the loudest roar possible. I don't know what it was yelling at. I don't know what made it upset, but it was the deepest, like I felt it shaking my body with how deep it was. It was a little terrifying, not gonna lie, because if you heard that if you're just out and about, you'd be scared out of your mind. I know that startled the crap out of me because you thought it was like an elephant or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was a deep growling. I don't know. It was a very deep sound, but I couldn't put my finger on what exactly it was.
Yeah, and Disney movies like Lion King don't do it justice.
Yeah, in real life,
oh
Lion King's like, oh, that's scary. Okay, yeah. This was like, oh my goodness.
And they're huge cats. And the thing that I liked about the exhibit is a lot of times you got really close. Because again, I've been to ones where they show wolves and lions, but they're farther away. Like you can't get up as close, but they had like a glass thing where the lions could walk right by. And they had like a male lion and a female lion. I took a picture of the female lion because she was looking at us as she was pacing back and forth. They both were. I think it was like lunchtime for them or something. Because they seemed pretty hungry because they were snacking on like their little bags that they had throughout the whole exhibit. But
speaking of lions, did you hear about that incident? I think it was, this article says October 19th, so it was about a week and a half ago. But in an Indianapolis zoo, a lioness suffocated the father of her 3 cubs.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I didn't read the complete article.
The male lion not clean enough dishes.
Apparently the zoo workers tried to break up the lions, but the lioness held the lion by the neck and suffocated it.
Jeez.
But it was before the zoo opened. Can you imagine how traumatic it would be to see that, especially for a child?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that would be traumatic to anybody, but especially children.
Yeah, those cats are no joke.
I mean, they're animals. They're not like, you can't train them to be, you can try to train them, but they're still can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I see the videos of like trainers training them as their cubs, and they come back later and they remember and they run up and like hug them. I would not want to risk that because I've also heard stories where they don't remember and they end up eating you. So, yeah. Now, I wouldn't want to trifle with these big cats because I feel like cats in real life, if they were this large, we would be doomed. The amount of cats that
Yeah,
are
we
running.
wouldn't have as many cat people now, would we?
Moving on to zebras. We were walking by and just right over top, and I've always liked zebras. They're very elegant with their stripes. But you don't see many people riding zebras like horses. I've always thought they were just like horses, and people would ride them the same way. But you don't really see that. I don't know why.
People meaning like in the United States?
Not United States, but
In the world?
yeah. Let me look. Do people ride zebras like horses?
Zebras look like they have the same
They look a little stockier.
body structure, but yeah, a little bit wider, stockier, I guess.
Apparently, Brain Stuff says why people don't ride zebras.
Please enlighten us.
People do ride horses, and zebra looks a lot like horses. Zebras have 4 legs, hooves, manes. So why aren't people domesticating zebras just like horses? Oh, they have a video. In part, the animal needs to be a flexible eater. They tend to panic.
So their personality doesn't lend itself for them to be ridden
I guess
recreationally.
that's what I'm guessing.
Okay. Well, they're still pretty cool animals. I like
They're
their...
unpredictable. That's the main thing. They're less predictable than horses because I feel like a lot of times horses can be trained and calm, and especially when you get a good horse, they're very nice animals. Remember, there was horses in our backyard when I was growing up. Not in...
In your backyard?
Yeah, it was Pedgertown, so before I moved for like middle school basically. So we had a plot of land, but there was another part like farm area, but we didn't technically own that. It was the neighbors to the left, and new people came in and they had horses. So there was horsies roaming out about there, I think.
Interesting.
And my mom was not a fan of that because you could smell them from time to time. Because, they're animals and they just do their business anywhere. But I always thought horses are nice and elegant, especially like the complete white ones. They always look really cool.
I like the traditional ones.
The brown ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Next pick is just a view that we had. Because it seemed like you could just walk. There's a bunch of walkways that had a nice view of the Colorado Springs, which is where this was. So...
But the locals call it the Springs.
The
They don't
Springs
call
of-
it Colorado Springs.
Sorry.
Also, on the way, when we had this nice view, we saw a bunch of really cute monkeys just hanging around. I forget what kind of monkeys they were, but when we were walking up the stairs, their tails look like literal ponytails.
Oh, like actual
Like
not like a
not
woman
a
ponytail.
human's ponytail,
Yeah.
but an
They kinda
actual
look like
pony's
dusters,
tail.
like those dusters that you would have too,
Yeah,
just larger.
because they would sit on this little perch or whatever, and then their tail would just dangle down. And it's so cute how monkeys, when they eat, a lot of them in this zoo are eating lettuce. I guess they're all on some diet or something. Or that's actually what they eat. I don't know. But they would hold the lettuce with like their feet, I guess. But
their feet have thumbs as well.
yeah, so they would hold the lettuce with their feet, and then...
Can you imagine if our feet were like that?
I can't imagine having opposable thumbs on our toes.
And you could just use them
But
basically
that's
like hands.
why we're not apes and monkeys and gorillas. Our toes have evolved, I suppose, to not be thumbs. But anyway, then they use their hands to rip off the lettuce. And then I was just thinking, like, why do we gotta go through all this effort of pots and pans and dishes and utensils? Just grab what you want, hold it, and bite right in. We don't need forks.
You're not animals. That's where the saying comes from.
Yeah, but
it is pretty cute when you watch them. Like they rip it off, and the way they're chewing, it's pretty adorable.
it is pretty cute.
Because monkeys always, like especially smaller monkeys, always have like a baby-looking face to them, which makes them pretty cute, and they have fur.
Yeah, because they have really tiny faces, and usually their eyes are pretty big.
Next pick that you can actually see are the elephants, which were in one little area. When we first saw them, this big mama elephant or daddy elephant, I think it's a dad because it has tusks. I could be wrong. It was chilling by a waterfall, drinking. It was cool how they would drink water. They would scoop it up with their tusk and then put it into their mouth. For the longest time when I was little, I always thought the tusk was actually their mouth, but I never realized it was just like their nose.
Me neither. I thought they're giant. Wait, hold on.
They have a mouth underneath.
No. I know that. But the tusk isn't.
Not tusk, the snout.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I used to think
Did I
the snout was
misspeak?
just like a giant straw.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And then I think, not recently, but maybe in the last 5 or 10 years, when I actually watched them drink water at a zoo or something, or I read somewhere and I was like, oh, they're scooping it up with their snout thingy. They're not drinking through a straw. It was pretty sad.
It's kind of like when you see a dog drink water in slow motion. The dog actually like scoops up the water and takes
With
it
their
in.
tongue, right?
Yeah, instead of just like, because it always, when they go quick, it looks like they're just dipping their tongue in the water.
Yeah.
The next picture you see is just a rhino chilling at the entrance, just chilling there. I just wanted to point this out that we had the rhino area had caution rhino spray. So, hold on.
Bless you. Caution Adam spray.
Great time and sneezes. But yeah, I don't know what they spray you with. I really hope it's not their urine, or they may just like take water in their mouth and just spit it at you. They're sassy rhinos. Any comment?
I mean, I don't know. We saw that one rhino, but then we didn't see any more up close and personal. Although we can read a quick, or not read, but we can skim over a quick article from mentalfloss.com. That's weird.
I've heard of Mental Floss. They have pretty quick, interesting articles.
Well, here's one. 15 things you might not know about rhinos.
Are we going through them all?
Yeah, I'm just going to real quick.
All right.
They're Greek, at least in name. The word rhinoceros stems from the Greek word rhino, nose, and keras, horn. So when you shorten the word to rhino, you're really just saying nose. That's really boring. Okay. A group of rhinos is called a crash. They used to be 16 feet tall.
How come we just got on this tangent of just listing facts for rhinos?
Because I don't know much about rhinos, do you?
Fair enough. Goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize. Continue.
Okay, I'll just skim through my favorites. Rhinos say wonk when they're happy. I really don't know how to make a sound that an animal makes, but that's the way it's spelled. So, yeah. They're long distance sprayers. Here we go.
There we go.
In a show of dominance, alpha male, of course, it's always the alpha males. Alpha male Indian rhinos can spray urine a distance of over 16 feet.
Oh, no. No wonder it was caution spray zone.
This is typically done in the presence of other males or breeding age females.
Oh, my goodness.
Other rhinos also spray urine. For males, this is typically for marking territory, while female Sumatran rhinos have been observed spray urinating 69 times in a 12-hour period before giving birth.
Jeez. That's
Wait,
disgusting.
it gets funnier.
Okay.
The next one is they communicate through poop. Hey, anonymous listener, AK, this one's for you. They communicate through poop. White rhino droppings are unique identifiers, meaning that a rhino can take one whiff of a dung heap and instantly know the animal's age, sex, and reproductive status. What? That sounds so made up. Come on. You can smell... Okay, I don't even want to think about that. That's crazy. This one person, the head of the study, told National Geographic, "We think of dung as just a waste product, but it's really a good way for animals to communicate. There's a lot of information there that we haven't taken advantage of."
So next time a doctor asks me for a blood sample, I'm like, nope, I got a better sample for you.
Oh, you want to know my age, sex, and my reproductive status? Here you go. No, I'm kidding. Their farts smell like sulfur.
Okay.
The males can get aggressive. We're almost done.
Okay.
They're related to zebras.
Oh.
The closest living relatives to rhinos are not elephants or hippos, but rather horses and zebras.
That's surprising.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
They have
cool
sensitive
fact, baby.
They have sensitive feet. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Their horns are made of the same protein found in human fingernails. Wow, so if you just keep your fingernail clip-ins for a while, you might build up enough to create a little horn-like structure.
Yeah, I don't think I want to get to that
They
point.
risk extinction.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't think I remember reading that from the zoo. Or / just knowing that from knowledge.
Well, we didn't spend much time in the exhibit because it was hiding away. Like the main area, like for
Yeah.
it wasn't walking around there, so we didn't check out the sign that was around it. So,
But anyway, random facts over. But I definitely learned about their spraying the poop. The
relation to horses.
yeah,
Okay.
and the consistency of the horn and human nails.
Shall we continue
Yes, we shall continue.
to the Australia section, which was really cool? We got to actually it reminded me of when we went to Sydney, where we went to a wildlife preserve. So this sort of reminded me of it, where they would have wallabies just running around. So this next picture is a wallaby. And that's basically what this area was. They had like big gates, and I was confused at first why, but it makes sense. They just don't want these little creatures to hop away, because they can move pretty quick. But yeah, it was a little area with a bunch of wallabies just chilling in the sun. One looked like it wanted a beer in its hand, as you see from the second wallaby picture, and they're just pretty adorable. I think you should mention your favorite wallaby that you saw. It was actually in a little extra room, right, babe? Hello? You there?
Oh, yeah. So I was trying to see if I had any pictures of it, but I don't. Not where I'm looking anyway right now. But there was another wallaby section, because the ones that we have pictures of that we posted are outside, but then there was also an inside area, like a little stable almost area, but instead of for horses, for wallabies. And there were 2 wallabies. And when we walked into this indoor area, they were both sitting right by the second door, so not the door we walked through, but the door where people couldn't walk in and out because the wallabies were protected through a little gated area. But they were sitting by the door just soaking in some sun, and then the one wallaby was like hopping around, and then I thought I saw something poking out of its belly area, and I was confused for a second. And then I remembered they're marsupials, so they have little pouches. There was a little tiny baby wallaby, and it was so cute.
We actually saw it for a second hop out of the pouch and then back in.
Yeah. Well, when the mommy was jumping around, you could see sometimes its ears or its little head peek out when it would look around, and then it would hide back in. But yeah, and then at some point, I don't know if it fell out or if it willingly jumped out, but it was really small and so cute.
It was able to willy-nilly hop out of that pouch and back in pretty quickly.
Mhm.
I wonder if it's comfy and cozy in there. Could you imagine making a baby and it's in your belly, and then all of a sudden it comes out, but then it has to hop back in a pouch and then carry it around for another month or two as it grows even more?
I mean, essentially, that's kind of what humans do, is just not physically attached to us, but newborns are just cuddling and
Yeah, you have to
breastfeeding
hold
and all
them,
that.
yeah.
So they're still in very close proximity to the mother, but just not physically in a pouch attached to the mom.
So the next picture, is there anything else in the Australia section that we forgot to mention? There were crocodiles that looked kind of like statues, basically. It was a little
Yeah, they
creepy.
didn't even look real.
I'm trying to remember. Not much of that stuff stood out besides the wallabies, which were cool. The next thing, we got to see my favorite animal, a tiger. I only got a picture through the glass, though, because that's the only view that I got. It was like walking around the whole place, and I had to quickly snap a pic before it walked away. But just as big as a lion. I always thought tigers were cool, specifically because their coats, they're orange, and then they have black stripes. And mainly because my favorite Winnie the Pooh character when I was younger was Tigger. That's why I like tigers, and that's why I still like tigers, because they're pretty cool. They're cool looking. Yeah, you're wearing a tiger shirt right now.
My tiger shirt.
Well, I gave it to you.
Yep, so it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely did not take it from you without asking. It was a gift.
Yeah, get used to that, folks. Any males out there, if you have any comfy shirts, your woman will steal them. Well, not steal them. Take them. She'll want them.
So this is gonna sound weird, maybe inappropriate. I don't know.
Ooh, I love inappropriate comments from you, Marmot.
So not typically, I don't really know the statistics. So if you're trying to be technical here, you can fast forward for about a minute or two. But usually women take clothes from like their boyfriend, husband, man, lover, person. But you never really hear a guy taking clothes from a girl.
Because you don't have any comfy clothes that fit me to wear.
Yeah, but that's my next question. What if I were larger than you and you could fit in my clothes? Is that a thing, or was that just societally not accepted for a guy to wear his woman's clothes if the woman is indeed of larger size variety than he is?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
I probably wouldn't.
I wish I knew someone in that situation.
I don't need to take
so curious.
Other people's clothes.
I don't need to take other people's clothes. I need to take my husband's comfy t-shirts. I only have 3. 3 over almost 5 years together? 4.5 years together?
So you think that's not enough?
That's really like 1 t-shirt every year and a half.
Oh, goodness. Let's not get on this topic. I opened up that can of worms. Let's close that box. Moving on to a bear laying on its back, just chilling, just having the time of its life, just sleeping. It was a grizzly bear, and the thing was huge, as you can sort of tell. Do not want to see them in the wild, because a lot of other bears you can sort of scare with like being larger and like yelling, and they'll go away. Grizzly bears, a lot of times that doesn't work. And if they're charging at you, you should definitely run as fast as you possibly can.
Didn't know
those
that.
things are gigantic.
It's really hard to tell how immensely large this bear was because it was laying and not standing, so you couldn't tell relative to us how tall it was. But
height-wise, it can get up to 6.5 feet, 6.5 feet. It's pretty tall, I think. Yeah, I wonder if it can get taller, like standing on 2 feet. Now, how like the tallest one, but it could be up to males can be 600 pounds. That's a big bear. You do not mess with that. Except for they look so cuddly, but that's where your danger's at. They're not cuddly.
I mean, no offense, but if someone, not a child or someone that has issues or whatever, but if a mentally stable, sane adult thinks that a bear looks cuddly, there's a problem, because you should have learned in biology at some point in your life
bears are not friendly.
They're not cuddly. But then that's the problem with like all these toys, like
I was thinking that too.
What's that place called? Build-A-Bear. Where they're all so cute and cuddly and teddy bears.
But I think people can make the difference between real life bears and teddy bears.
But sometimes you see in TV shows and sometimes on the news in real life that kids don't realize. Like we saw on our TV shows, some kid thought the pirate was I mean, it was on a TV show, but I could see this happening in real life.
Pirate?
It was the pirate holiday, remember, in Heart of Dixie? And they were talking about the hidden treasure, and the kid literally went scuba diving to the bottom of the ocean to look for treasure.
Gotcha.
So I feel like a lot of times people might just not know.
You're saying kids are dumb.
No, I'm saying kids aren't dumb. They just might not know.
They have a different view on the world.
Yeah.
I think everything's all hunky-dory. But the bear looks so cuddly. Saw some wolves and some pups of wolves, except for they were basically the same size as wolves. They basically said they're just dogs, except for they're meaner than dogs. They're
literally every single person standing in front of that exhibit or the wolf area said that those wolves look like dogs. Every single person. They were like, oh, this looks like a dog. And then that couple would leave.
They do realize that dogs came from wolves, right? They do realize that. I really hope they realize that and know that.
I mean, they might know that, but that doesn't mean that all wolves are going to look like a dog. Like normal wolves that I've seen on TV, or I don't know if I've ever seen one in real life, but they didn't look as much as a dog like these did.
These look like normal wolves that you would normally see.
I thought these looked more
I think the coats make it look
husky.
dog-ish, but That all wolves look like that, basically. Yeah, agree to disagree.
Fascinating.
Oh, look, a moose drinking in the water. That's basically the next pic. It was a cool moose. Had large antlers.
It looked really lonely.
Mm-hmm. Just chilling. Speaking of lonely, but my favorite thing possible during this, even though I saw a tiger, which was my favorite, but I got to see this gorilla who was awesome.
This is the sassiest gorilla.
I love this gorilla.
/ animal I've ever seen.
Sort of feel bad that he's in a cage and can't run around or anything. Actually, I feel like there's a around area, but they didn't have him outside. But this dude, this big man, I don't think he cared about me at all. He kept looking at you, I think. He was into the ladies because there was a girl looking at him before, and he was looking at her, and then you came along and he was looking at you too. I think he's a player. He was looking at the ladies, and he kept looking at you, giving you side eyes and things of that nature.
He was so sassy, very sassy facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had a very big personality.
These people, and then the funniest thing is, we walked away from that exhibit, and then we came back like right before we were about to leave. I think he was mad that some people left, or like he couldn't see you anymore. Specifically, I'm gonna make this about you. So he was in the back, with his feet up, and then his arms crossed, like he was pouting about something. He was funny. Except for I would not want to meet him in an alleyway because that gorilla is ginormous and probably mean. But reminds me of Tarzan.
And gorillas. Male gorillas can get up
to
to like
some knowledge?
300 pounds.
Yeah, they big.
Really big. Did you know a gorilla's foot has 5 toes, including an opposable or grasping toe?
Like a thumb?
Yeah. I mean, we saw that when it was sitting down.
Yeah.
I've also never seen gorillas at that up close and personal before.
Yeah, they're big. They're big boys. And it's weird how they walk around. Not weird, but that's just what they do. They walk around on their knuckles. That's gotta hurt after a while. This is Husband and Wife Talks, where we just talk about all different types of animals and how they're weird. Monkey. Next picture. This is a monkey that was eating broccoli and lettuce. I think this is where
you can see the broccoli if you zoom in a little right on the rock above the monkey.
I think this was you talking about it eating with its foot and its hand at the same time. It was holding with lettuce with his foot and then like just ripping it off with his hands. Mm-hmm. And it just had such a cute face. Look at that face. It's adorable. Also, I thought it was really funny how there was 2 monkeys in this little area, and at some point a squirrel. I don't even know where the squirrel came from because I thought this area was all fenced in. Mm-hmm. Unless the squirrel like dug under the fence or something. But a squirrel ran up, ate some of the lettuce or broccoli or whatever was up there, while both of the monkeys were working on their own head of lettuce, and then the squirrel just ran off. And I don't know how in real life situations if monkeys like this particular species ever interact with squirrels. Or if it's just like a you do your thing, I do mine relationship. But that just made me giggle, for sure. When worlds collide, squirrels and monkeys. Coming to a theater near you. Final one was a baby orangutan. Looked like a little human, a little bit. Had crazy hair. It looked adorable. It was really cute. It was just chilling, holding on to its mommy's fur. That's basically it. There was another orangutan and a sort of, I want to say, like teenage-looking orangutan where it was swinging around. It did like a cute thing where it kissed the window where like a little girl was looking at it. Yeah. It was really cute. But, yeah, I think overall this zoo was pretty awesome. Definitely my favorite zoo I think I've ever been to. We were there for over 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours, which was insane. We've never been to a zoo for that long. But I like the setup that I had of it, where it was kind of like more continuous. I mean, you could branch off and do other things, but a lot of times it had like a proper vibe to it or like flow through the zoo. So you just keep going straight basically, and you'll get to the end at some point. But it was pretty rad. They plan on bringing penguins and stuff to the zoo, right? as well. They had a construction area.
Yeah, I forget exactly what else, but the walkway to it was called Primate World, and I kept joking that it sounded like we were going to Disney World or another amusement park, but that walkway from one of the more main areas to Primate World was just a gravel path, and construction was to the left of it. So I wonder, I did see a sign for penguins, a penguin exhibit, and I forget what else, but
I do love me some penguins. I like the way they waddle.
yeah, they're so cute. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed, like you said, the flow of the zoo, but I also enjoyed that I would say about like 60 to 75% of the exhibits you could actually see the animals up close and personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously you're going to have the lions and tiger exhibits and wolves where they have a lot of open space, so it's just a matter of luck of whether or not you're going to see them. But like the elephant and the giraffes, there was a lot of, I guess, not surface area, but area where the animals were, so they had a lot of
free range
length where the human walkway coincided with where the animals were, but it wasn't a lot in depth, I guess. So they couldn't go like 100 feet away from you because their area was only like 100 feet in length by 30 or 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could get closer to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could get pretty close to a lot of these animals, which was
I liked
pretty
that.
rad.
I would definitely, if I would have known I would have liked it so much, I would have just gotten the season pass because it said you can, that it pays for itself after 2 visits. And I would go there like once a quarter just for
checking out the
fun.
Animals.
Yeah.
You would?
Once a quarter? That's once every 3 months.
Yeah, true.
Make a trip down to the Springs. Colorado Springs, that is.
And it had nice views. We took the Skyline ride
We
up.
forgot about the ski lift thing.
Yeah. The strangest thing, getting on a ski lift without skis. So it would just take you up to the top where there was like an overlook so you could see everything. But you're also, when you're climbing up, you're going over some of the exhibits. So I think one of them was like a billy goat exhibit, which we didn't see when we were walking around. But we saw as going up, the goats like at the edge or at the end of the exhibit. And then also on the way down, we saw the tiger exhibit. So we could see the tiger walking around, which was kind of cool. But it had like a great view of the whole city when you're up there. Randomly had a rock wall too.
Yeah, a little rock climbing / bouldering area.
But yeah, overall, highly recommend this place. It was really good.
Yeah. You're welcome for the recommendation.
Okay. I think, is that it for this week? Been going on for an hour and 2 minutes.
I think so.
Chatty Cathy's this week. Surprisingly enough. Did not expect that. It's probably because we went on for hours about candy corn and how apparently I'm dumber because of it.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you all for listening. You're going to be watching Marta's YouTube video sometime this week, her making apple cider. And she also edited the other ones. I don't know when she wants to put that one up too. We'll see. But yeah, remember, you can find us facebook.com/hotpod. That's probably where I'm going to be posting the YouTube link for people, just more convenience if you want to know where to find it right away. It'll be there when it finally comes up, and also on YouTube. You can find us Twitter @hotpod. You can email us questions, hotpod@gmail.com. If you look in the description, I've been meaning to mention this for the past 2 weeks, but I forget when I do this spiel at the end. If you go to the description, you can click the link. It'll have our email right there. You can actually click on it, and it'll take you to the 2 mail. So you can it's really easy to send us and email us questions. So feel free. We'd be happy to take them, happy to answer them whenever we get the chance to. We love and appreciate all you for listening. And what we'd really appreciate is if you're on iTunes, give us 5-star rating. It's not that hard. Just 5 stars, right? Why you love us so much, because I know you do. And then share us with your friends and family. That'll help us a lot. We're available everywhere: Spotify, Overcast, Stitcher, iTunes, as I mentioned, Google Play when it wants to release on time, and plenty of other places that you can listen to our wonderful podcast. We appreciate all you so much for listening. Remember, keep sharing us, and we hope you have a great week. Right, babe?
Always wishing the best for the hot listeners.
Okay, I think it's time to say bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.